This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800. Also brought to you by Nye Communities Coalition. Nye CC is your one-stop resource for employment services. Visit nyecc.org.
Welcome and thanks so much for joining us here on News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. Welcome to the final day of March, the 31st.
Can you believe it?
It is.
Well, tragic news coming out of Churchill County. Last night, a press release was issued regarding the disappearance of 18-year-old Naomi Irion. Police say that on Tuesday, March 29th, investigators from Churchill County Sheriff's Office, along with a detective from the Lyon County Sheriff's Office, responded to a remote part of Churchill County following a tip regarding the disappearance of Naomi. Their investigative actions led them to a possible gravesite. Washoe County Sheriff's Office Forensic Investigative Services team was contacted and responded to assist in processing the scene. The body of an adult Caucasian female was recovered from that gravesite. The body was transported to the Washoe County Medical Examiner's Office for an autopsy and confirmation of the identification. On March 30th, which was yesterday, the remains were confirmed as those of Naomi Irion. The family has been notified. Naomi was at the Fernley Walmart 17 days ago when she was reportedly abducted. Her accused kidnapper and murderer, 41-year-old Troy Driver, has been captured and was seen in court this week. Driver is a convicted felon and previously served 12 years in a California state prison for his role in a methamphetamine dealer's murder.
In other area news, one person was transported to a trauma center following a high-impact crash this afternoon here in Pahrump.
Emergency crews responded to a two-vehicle crash, including a rollover this afternoon on Highway 160 and Homestead Road. One person possibly has a broken arm, and the other is complaining of back pains. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and auxiliary units, including Nevada Highway Patrol, were dispatched to the scene. One person was taken via ambulance to Mercy Air Base 24 to be subsequently airlifted to a trauma center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The roadway was closed during the patient care. Investigation and cleanup is ongoing.
And another crash today. Just shortly after that one, emergency crews were dispatched to a single vehicle rollover on Blagg Road just south of Irene Street. One person was mechanically entrapped, according to Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units were on scene. The driver and only occupant was taken to Mercy Air Base to be airlifted to a Las Vegas trauma center.
And there have been 4 confirmed deaths related to COVID-19 reported since Wednesday, March 16th. 1 resident of Beatty and 3 of Pahrump. There are 9 new COVID-19 confirmed positive cases here in Nye County since Wednesday, March 23rd, reported and confirmed, with 1 in Smoky Valley and the remainder in Pahrump. The total is 6,396 confirmed cases of COVID-19 positives countywide since the first reported case back on March 14th, 2020. This does not include home tests, which are the majority of tests conducted at this time. Nye County Schools, the school COVID cases weekly state report has reported 3 new cases since March 29th. The Pahrump COVID-19 and flu vaccine clinic will be Thursday, today, March 31st, from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Community Health Center Nurse Office, 1981 East Calvada Boulevard. All 3 vaccine boosters and pediatric vaccines for children ages 5 to 11 were available today. No appointment is necessary if you go to that location in the future. The clinic will return to its regular Tuesday schedule next week, April 5th. Vaccine clinics are scheduled for Beatty on Wednesday, May 4th, and Amargosa Valley on Thursday, May 5th. Both clinics will be from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. And there are free COVID testing kits around the county, including at town offices and healthcare clinics. And stay tuned, we'll be right back with much more local news.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
All right, if you're over the age of 50, you might want to find out about a fourth booster shot. We're going to tell you all about that in your health report.
People who are 50 and older are now eligible for a fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Kimberly Giuliano, MD, is the physician lead for COVID-19 vaccine operations at Cleveland Clinic.
Largely the goal here is to prevent serious cases, to prevent hospitalization, and to prevent death. We've seen that some individuals, despite being vaccinated and boosted, are still at risk for transmission or getting infected with the disease. Our hope is that we can help to keep them as healthy as possible.
She said the booster is designed to increase antibody response that may have waned over time. This week, the CDC and the FDA authorized additional COVID-19 booster shots. The authorization includes Pfizer and Moderna and makes adults 50 and older eligible for another vaccine dose. It also allows people 12 and up who are immunocompromised to receive another booster. Vaccine effectiveness wanes over time, and evidence suggests older people and those who are immunocompromised can benefit from a boost. With COVID-19 cases still relatively low and Omicron's BA.2 variant looming, Dr. Giuliano says it's a good time to get boosted.
It's best to think about vaccines in terms of prevention instead of waiting for a massive wave of cases to get here, especially for these individuals that we're mentioning here who are at the highest risk of complications from COVID infections.
The FDA plans to meet next week to review data on whether an additional booster will be recommended for people under the age of 50.
And in today's Great Computer Deals Tech Tip, Josh Osborne is giving us some advice on how to back up our computer's data.
Hi guys, Josh Osborne with Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial, viewer question edition.
One viewer asks, what's the best way to back up my computer's data? Well, let's get right into it. There are 3 different ways to back up your computer. Number 1, you back up your files onto an external hard drive. That means that you buy a device that plugs into your computer and allows you to manually move your files onto it. Number 2, you back up your files onto the internet using a service like Backblaze. I know many people don't like the idea of putting their stuff online, but this service is automated and doesn't require you to remember to use it. Number 3, you use cloud storage. This means instead of storing your data on your computer's hard drive, use an online hard drive, so if anything were to happen, it wouldn't matter because none of your files are on your own computer to begin with. Hope that helps.
Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
Thanks so much, Josh. Well, how can an athlete continue to set and achieve new goals? Dr. Michael Taylor explains.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical, healthcare the way you've always imagined it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Taylor with Spring Mountain Medical, your hometown health and wellness provider. Today I'm going to talk about helping your athletic teens maintain peak performance. Young athletes feel more pressure than ever to maintain peak performance in their athletic competitions. With scholarships and professional dreams, they push themselves to their limits. As important as practice, routine, nutrition, and strenuous workouts are, recovery is equally critical to performing well. Our bodies need rest, treatment, and therapy as much as they need to be broken down and built back up in athletic pursuits. Our teams of providers have several customized solutions made just for you that help you heal, recover, and perform at higher levels. Come see us so we can help put you on track for your best health. I'm Dr. Michael Taylor, and this has been your Medical Minute brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical.
All right, and there is a new online informational seminar being held soon concerning Alzheimer's. For more health information, listen up.
It's a free educational conference. It's going to be taking place virtually. It's on April 6th from 10 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. Totally free. You can register by visiting our website, alzfdn.org. Just click on the events calendar and you can register for the conference. Again, it's free and open to everybody. There's going to be a session talking about the relationship between COVID-19 and Alzheimer's, how the pandemic has impacted families affected by Alzheimer's, where we're going to go from here, looking towards the future, and then ways to keep people with Alzheimer's safe amidst the pandemic. There's going to be a session on how to maximize quality of life and have meaningful experiences even after Alzheimer's diagnosis. And there's going to be a session on how to build a dementia care team working with family members and professional caregivers. So there's really something for everybody here. And again, it's open to all, it's free, and we invite you to register by visiting alzfdn.org. In Nevada right now, there are about 49,000 people living with Alzheimer's disease. That number is projected to grow by more than 40% by 2025. So you're talking about a pretty big increase. Nationwide right now, there are about 6.2 million Americans living with Alzheimer's. And just to put that in perspective, that's double the entire population of the state of Nevada. And by 2060, if we don't find a cure or a disease-modifying treatment, the CDC projects that number to more than double, to more than 13 million. So it's a growing problem in Nevada and across the country. It's impacting more and more people. And that's just the number of people living with the disease. That's not even taking into account the number of family members who are now caregivers. So it really impacts a tremendous number of people. And that's why events like this are so important, because as more and more people get affected by Alzheimer's disease, we want to make sure that they have access to help and support. And that's what this conference is all about on April 6th. Just like any condition, the sooner you detect it, the sooner you can take steps to address it. So in the case of Alzheimer's disease, early detection is important because the sooner you detect it, you can start potentially taking medications that can help mitigate some of the symptoms and slow the progression of the symptoms, and they're more effective earlier on. You have a greater opportunity to enroll in a clinical trial. You can start therapeutic interventions, things like music therapy, art therapy, dance therapy, different activity programming. You can start forming your care team. You can make decisions about different legal and health and financial affairs and make sure that wishes are carried out in the way you want them to be carried out, because it's important for the person to have a voice. So the earlier you can line some of these things up and start the ball rolling, the better. It's going to take place on April 6th. You can register by visiting alzfdn.org and just click on the events calendar at the top of the page. It's free, it's open to everybody, and we invite everyone to take part. And if you can't attend the conference or you have a question that can't wait, reach out to our helpline, 866-232-8484. It's open 7 days a week and here to help you.
All right, we'll be right back with much more information and your sports after the break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Lots of stuff happening in sports. Let's see Doug Ferber with his report.
Hello, sports fans. The NFL has made a rule change for next year's playoffs. The Vegas Golden Knights are in a battle to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Dollar Loan Center is getting ready to host the Henderson Silver Knights for the very first time. I'm Doug Ferber. In Palm Beach, Florida, NFL decision makers comprised of team executives and GMs from around the league decided that last season's playoffs left fans a little dissatisfied with how overtime played out, especially when Kansas City defeated Buffalo on its first overtime possession to move on to the AFC Championship game. Regular season overtime rules say that the team that wins the coin flip for possession in overtime can score a touchdown and be declared the winner. In Tuesday's meeting, it was voted on to allow the team that doesn't win the coin toss one chance to score the tying touchdown, but only in the playoffs. The overtime rules will remain the same for the regular season, which allows the first team to score a touchdown in overtime to be declared the winner. The first possession field goal rule will remain in effect, where if the team that wins the coin flip kicks a field goal, the other team has the same opportunity to tie or win it in their initial possession.
that will be in both the regular season and the playoffs.
The Vegas Golden Knights began their 3-game road trip last night in Seattle with a 3-0 win over the Kraken.
Once again, it was Logan Thompson who held his own in goal for the VGK. Thompson stopped 22 shots, and Shea Theodore, Michael Armadio, and VGK leading scorer Jonathan Marchessault each chipped in to score for the much-needed win and third straight for the Knights. Vegas holds a 1-point lead heading into tonight over the Dallas Stars for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. The Stars are in Anaheim tonight to take on the Ducks. Meanwhile, the VGK gets another shot at Seattle tomorrow night, then head to Vancouver for a Sunday game with the Canucks, who trail the VGK by 5 points with 13 to play.
Over in Bakersfield, the Henderson Silver Knights were soundly defeated by the Condors last night 4-0 with a much depleted and young and inexperienced lineup.
The VGK's minor league affiliate continues to serve as the breeding ground for NHL stars, including emerging star Logan Thompson, who was in the goal in last night's VGK win. Head coach Manny Viveros knows his team's role and shared his thoughts yesterday.
You know, the way our roster has been over the last, month or even longer than that, as far as, guys getting called up and us having our own injuries too. We know that we're almost forced to put these guys into some situations that normally they're not have played before. But I think, as far as, they're part of the development, that's exactly what you want from these guys.
One can't help but to feel the excitement for the Silver Knights, who will debut right here at the Dollar Loan Center in a little more than 48 hours.
On Saturday night, the HSK will take to the ice in the DLC for their very first home game in the new arena, an arena that was specifically built for them, all coming in the franchise's second year of play. Last Monday, the Henderson Silver Knights officially moved into the Dollar Loan Center and held their first team practice there. Afterwards, HSK defensemen Braden Peckel and Zach Hayes shared their thoughts.
The city's super excited to have this facility, so it'll be packed every night, and it's a building that'll be super loud to play in, and I think intimidating for away teams to come in and face us.
Moving into this new arena with how the fans are going to be, teams aren't going to want to come in here and play just because of how loud it is. The fans are great. I think it's definitely going to be an advantage for this last month.
Saturday's game will begin with a fan experience atmosphere outside the DLC. Food trucks and music, along with other entertainment, will bring a festive feel for the home opener beginning at 4 p.m. And then Bakersfield will take on the Silver Knights at 7 p.m. Formula One has announced the return of the Las Vegas Grand Prix beginning in November of 2023.
The last time Las Vegas hosted Formula One was 1982, but this will be the first time the F1 cars will race on the Las Vegas Strip. The 14-turn track will run for 3.8 miles with top speeds expected to exceed 200 miles an hour. The F1 series is slated to begin once again here in November of 2023.
For KPVM 25 TV Sports, I'm Doug Ferber.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
See what it looks like outside. How pretty.
It is. A few fluffy clouds, blue skies, a bit of gust in the air, though. We'll take a closer look at how high those winds will get in the forecast after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. So great to see you on a Thursday, and what a beautiful day we had today. Oh my goodness, up and down the state, 61, 2, and 3 degrees. Friendly Fallon, Carson City. Tonopah, like the little kid left behind at 58. Goldfield, 64 today. Beatty at 73. Amargosa, 77. And Las Vegas, you're the hot spot, baby. 80 degrees in Vegas today. That feels just fine. Out in Death Valley, it's 88. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, 76 degrees is our current temperature. That's also today's high. So aren't we feeling all mighty? Oh, there you go. West-southwesterly winds to 6 miles per hour as the sun rose in all its glory and promise under a cloudy sky this morning at 6:31 a.m. It's setting this evening with beautiful colors, still a few clouds lingering as we look for sunset at 7:05 and a low tonight of 50 degrees as we head on into Friday and the weekend. Oh, it's looking good. Actually, this whole week, look at this. We started at 80 degrees, 82, 79 on Sunday. They say clouds. There's going to be clouds in the morning. They're going to back out, and it's going to be pretty much sunshine for the rest of Sunday. It's a gorgeous weekend. Monday, we get a little bit of cloud cover still lingering, but look at the rest of the week. Sunshine and temperatures ranging all the way up into the upper 80s. If we can count 86 as upper, I think we will. We'll just round up and call it good. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John.
I know, yes.
The Prump Music Festival started tonight, and as you may have noticed that Basin Avenue is closed. You need to take alternate routes around. It's at Petrick Park on the corner of Basin and Highway 160. It starts tonight and, of course, goes throughout the weekend. For more information, go to prumpmusicfestival.com. We'll bring you a little bit more on tomorrow night's newscast as well.
Yes, bring us some nats and some music. Have fun out there, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.